Let's give our praises to the Most High, whose true name in ancient Hebrew is Yahweh, and the name of his only begotten Son, whose true name in the ancient Hebrew is Yahweh Shai, and the Holy Spirit, which in the ancient Hebrew, which is the Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to the elders of GMS, who taught us this truth by the Holy Spirit. Honors to the brothers, risking their life and freedom to push the gospel. Peace and blessings to the elect, who consist of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, who make up the lost 12 tribes of Israel, according to scripture and prophecy. The elect will be 1/3 of the Israelites, who in the last days are returning back to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai for salvation, while the 2/3 of Israel who don't seek the Lord in time will be destroyed with America. We back with another lesson through the mercy and spirit of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. I think this lesson is going to be titled 1 minute is no longer than 45 seconds. Time is speeding up. Yeah, so again, 1 minute is no longer than 45 seconds. Meaning what? You can speculate now that 1 minute equals 45 seconds. Or guess what? It could be even less. 1 minute could be 40 seconds. But however long a minute is now, well, it's going to get even shorter because time is speeding up. People can feel it. Most people can't explain it. You saw the white man try to explain it by saying that the earth is rotating faster or revolving around the sun faster. But it's beyond all that. It's really the Most High speeding up time for the elect's sake. Time is speeding up just as prophecy said it would. So again, 1 minute is no longer than 45 seconds. You know, maybe a little longer, maybe a little shorter. But as we get closer and closer to that day, to the Lord's return, time is going to continue to speed up more and more. So I'm going to get this precept real quick, and then we're going to get a video. Matthew 24:21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world, to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And we in the beginning of this great tribulation. Look what's going on. Look what's coming. It says, and except those days should be shortened, the days are shorter. Time is moving faster. And except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So it would be so bad out here that nobody would survive. You got data centers sucking up all the resources. There's going to be a global famine, global blackouts, cyber attacks, a global mandate of the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast. Those who refuse the mark will get killed. There's World War III, nuclear destruction. Nobody will survive. 5G, towers, 6G, internet, with the microchips placed inside of the body, transmitting that 6G signal all throughout the body, nobody will survive. Now that we mentioned that nobody will survive, look how the video starts off. Watch how he starts it off. But the title is Time Has Sped Up. 1 minute is now 45 seconds. From the brother Kazak in GMS, Mississippi. But we gonna let this video play, and I'm gonna pull something up over here to the left. It's gonna be a breakdown of the time difference. So check this out.
I think that time has been sped up, and I think God has sped up time, because if he did not speed up time, then we all would be doomed. Did you guys hear that scientist has said that they have measured time, and in comparison to what time was before, time is now, like a minute is now 45 seconds, which means for every minute, 15 seconds we've lost.
And we got that breakdown over here to the left. A normal minute, 60 seconds. According to scientists, 45 seconds is the new minute. And it said time is moving 33% faster. Now this is spiritual, but we're gonna let the video play all the way through, Then we're gonna come back to it.
ChatGPT, if 45 seconds was a minute, 15 seconds we've lost. So I asked ChatGPT, if 45 seconds was a minute, how quickly would time go by? ChatGPT said that time will be moving 33% quicker. And what that would mean for a month would be that a 30-day month would pass in 22 and a half days. And so a month would feel like it ended a week sooner. The crazy thing about this is that when you continuously, if you say 2 months or 3 months, or you say a year, it's crazy. If you say a year, it would be about 274 days a year would take. And a year takes obviously 365 days. But a year would finish about 91 days earlier. And so
I'll do something real quick.
three hundred 365 days. But a year would finish about 91 days earlier. And some people find it hard to comprehend that if God is outside of time, then he can fast forward time from the outside because he is not in it. Similar to when you watch a movie, you are not in the movie, which means you can fast forward through the movie, you can rewind, you can do whatever you want. And the people in the movie will not be affected because they can't they can't feel it, they can't see it because you're doing it from the outside of time. They're just going to continue to do their script in real time. So God has sped up time. That is my belief. Also, do what you will with this type of information. This is Revelation 12:12, and it says that therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants.
So we're gonna get some of them same precepts anyway, but we're gonna come back to the beginning of this video. So let's get it the way he started it off.
Speeding up so the days can be shortened. And so you get to a certain time quicker. So I think that time has been sped up, and I think God has sped up time because if he did not speed up time, then we all would be doomed.
And Yahushua said that nobody will survive. Now, again, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. We coming into that great tribulation, so time is going to speed up. And it says, except those days should be shortened. Now, a minute, they speculate is 45 seconds. Now, a day, they speculate is only, it don't say. But yeah, they say a month, a 30-day month, they speculate it goes by in only 22 and a half days. And a 28-day month goes by in 21 days. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. Now, we get this in the NLT. And in fact, unless that time of calamity is shortened, not a single person will survive. But it will be shortened for the sake of God's chosen ones. And that would be the elect of the nation of Israel. Not a single person will survive what Esau the white man is about to bring to the earth. Not to mention, he want to black out the sun and all other kind of madness. But it's something he said that I want to get. So let's let this video continue. Because keep in mind that time is being shortened for the elect's sake. So we going to get into who the elect is, and it's a number. But we going to get into it.
Did you guys hear that scientist has said that they have measured time, and in comparison to what time was before, time is now, like a minute is now 45 seconds, which means for every minute, 15 seconds we've lost. So I asked ChatGPT, if 45 seconds was a minute, how quickly would time go by? ChatGPT said that time will be moving 33% quicker, and what that would mean for a month
You
would
see
be
that?
that a 30-day
Time will be moving 33% quicker. 33%, you put it in a fraction, would be 1/3. But let's talk about the elect, because for the elect's sake, these days should be shortened. Now, the elect, that's who's going to be gathered at the Lord's return for salvation. So let's get into that real quick. This is the book of Matthew 24. This is verse 30. Matter of fact, we got to hit 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. So the time of the great tribulation is going to be sped up, because immediately after the tribulation, the Son of Man, the Son of the Most High, is going to return to the earth. And what's those clouds of heaven? Great power, great glory. Heaven's armies, the host of heaven. With the clouds of heaven really being what the world calls UFOs and UAPs. It's going to be an invasion on the earth by the Lord and the angels. But look at this. He shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. So from all over the earth, the elect is going to be gathered. But remember, Matthew 24:22 said, except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. Not a single person will survive. But for the elect's sake, those who's going to be gathered, those who's going to receive salvation, those days should be shortened. So we know who the elect is. But now we're going to put a number to it. Because remember, they said time is moving 33% faster. Or time has sped up by 1/3, 33%. Now, the elect who's going to get gathered, we're going to go here. Zechariah 13:8. It shall come to pass that in all the land, here in America, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. We know judgment is going to begin with the house of Israel. And 2 parts, or 2/3 of Israel, is going to be cut off. But look at this. But the third shall be left therein. What's the third? It's the third part, or 1/3, or 33% of the house of Israel. And look at this. I will bring the third part through the fire, and I will refine them as silver is refined. I will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people that shall say, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai is my God. So the elect of the nation of Israel is 1/3 of the house of Israel here in America that's going to receive salvation. Now, when we look at it in the NLT, 2/3 of the people in the land, not the whole earth, but the land, that's America. 2/3 of our people gonna die in America. Will be cut off and die, says the Lord. But look at this. 1/3 will be left in the land. In that 1/3, I will bring that group, 1/3, 33%, through the fire. Now look at this. Time is moving about 33% faster. For who? The elect's sake. That 1/3 that's going to be left in the land, who the Lord is going to gather at his return. Now let's do this real quick. They're doing too much. Bear with me. Now look at this. Let's take 1 and divide it by 3. Boom. That's not right. Hold on. Wrong button. Can I make this bigger? 1 divided by 3. 33.333. And see that? It says time is moving about 33% faster. And we took the 1, which is small, and divided it by 3. And that's the third part, or the 1/3, the elect, who's going to be here, who are not going to be cut off and die. But that third part, that 1/3, that's the group that's going to be here at the Lord's return, whom the Lord is going to gather from the fire, that nuclear destruction. But again, time is moving 33% faster, and it's moving faster for who? The elect's sake, which just so happened to be 33% of the house of Israel here in America. So for the elect's sake, for the sake of that 33%. So I wanted to get that. But we're going to let him continue.
Passing 22 and a half. And what that would mean for a month would be time will be moving 33% quicker. And what that would mean for a month would be that a 30-day month would pass in 22 and a half days. And so a month would feel like it ended a week sooner. The crazy thing about this is that when you continuously, if you say 2 months or 3 months, or you say a year, it's crazy. If you say a year, this would be about 274 days that a year would take. And a year takes obviously 365 days, but a year would finish about 91 days earlier. And some people,
you hear that? A year, instead of being 365 days, would be 274 days roughly. So the year feels about 91 days shorter. So a minute is not 60 seconds no more. You don't got 60 minutes in an hour. You don't got 24 hours in a day. You may roughly have 17, 18, 19 hours in a day. But guess what? Time is going to continue to get shorter. And that will be for the elect's sake, those who are going to be gathered at the Lord's return. Because if time would not speed up, not a single person would survive. So the Lord's going to shorten the time so he can come gather his elect from all over the earth. Then when we get this in the NLT again, 2/3 of our people are going to be cut off and die. But 1/3, 33%, will be left in the land. And again, they said time is moving 33% faster. That's how you know it's for the elect's sake. But this is all according to prophecy. But let's let this go some more.
hard to comprehend that if God is outside of time, then he can fast forward time from the outside because he is not in it. Similar to when you watch a movie, you are not in the movie, which means you can fast forward through the movie, you can rewind, you can do whatever you want, and the people in the movie will not be affected because they can't they can't feel it, they can't see it because you're.
It's like when you fast forward a movie, like on a DVD player or even on your smart TV, you can make your TV show or movie move at 1.5 speed, meaning it's moving like 50% faster, 1.5. Well, that's kind of like what the Lord is doing here. And when you fast forward a movie, the movie don't skip. Everything still happens. It just happens at a faster speed. And that's what's going on in the earth. That's why these events, prophecy is unfolding by the hour. You can't catch a break. It's something happening every day. The world is going more and more to shit every day. And that's according to prophecy's sake. And guess what? It's for our sake. Although things it's getting harder for us too. It's not enough time in a day to do the things we need to do. And that's literal. But at the end of the day, Yahweh Shah is doing all this for our sakes.
From the outside of time, they're just going to continue to do their script in real time. So God sped up time. That is my belief. Also, do what you will with this type of information. This is Revelation 12:12, and it says that, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and to the sea. The devil has come down unto you.
I think he's going to get kind of precepts at this point. But again, Esau the white man going to continue to do what he do until he's moved out of the way. This great tribulation, it got to happen. But we going to get this in the book of Daniel 7:25. He shall speak great words against the Most High and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. So we wore out here. It's like we got a double life. We sort of got to maintain ourselves in Esau's world. But at the same time, we got to make our bodies a living sacrifice for Yahweh Shai. And that sacrifice includes fasting, praying, studying, coming out of this world, departing from evil, dealing with the evil spirits on these people, the rebellion of our people. But goes on to say, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, to think to change times and laws. They doing all of that. It says they should be given into his hand until the time and times and dividing the time. That goes into 350 years. But when you look at this in the NLT, it says he will defy the Most High and oppress the holy people of the Most High. We oppressed. We oppressed in this economic system. You got to balance out money, time, and work. There's not enough time in a day to do the amount of work we need to do to have enough money. You short on one or the other. It's either you ain't got enough time or you ain't got enough money. We oppressed with evils, LGBTQ all over the place. The food and water and the air is defiled. Our people waxing worse and worse in a rebellion. Idol worship is at an all-time high. Esau lying, trying to keep the nations deceived. So we oppressed with evils. And we see all this going on, and it weigh on us mentally. And we got to walk this straight path that Yahweh Shai and our forefathers laid out, which is not an easy path. It would be easy just to go along with what everybody else is doing. But if we part of the elect, we're not going to take that path. So the world think they wore out, but it's wearing us out even more. And then not to mention, they going to mandate the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast. The RFID microchip that goes in the right hand and the brain chip that's going to go in the forehead. He going to force that on the world. But Lord willing, we part of the elect, we not going to get the mark of the beast, the microchip. So it's only going to get harder for us. But see, that's why dealing with this time of great tribulation, also known as Jacob's trouble, the Lord going to activate the Archangel Michael until Yahweh Shai pops up. And we're going to be receiving all kind of help and miracles from heaven to help us in these dark times. But yeah, it said, well, wear out the saints. And it says, oppress the holy people. We oppress. And it's only going to get worse as we enter to the phase concerning the persecution. They're going to make war with the saints. They're going to demonize us. It says some of us going to be thrown in prison. Some of us going to stand on trial. Some of us going to be killed for the sake of the gospel. But despite how hard it get and how uncomfortable it is, the Lord is working everything in our favor. Time is speeding up. Oh, like in the world we may say we got nothing but time. Time is on our side. Let's prove that real quick. So back to Matthew 24, 22. It says, except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, the 33%, Time is moving 33% faster. For the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. So things is working in our favor. Time is on our side. But it's not on Esau the white man's side. Because time is working against him. He got to get his new world order off the ground. He got to try to microchip everybody in the earth. He got to crash the global financial system to implement this cashless digital system. He got to build data centers. He ain't got enough water to keep him cool. He going bankrupt. He losing the war with Iran. The people are rising up. He losing control of the world and the people. So time is on our side, despite how uncomfortable and how bad it's going to get for us. The Lord is working on our behalf, despite what it might seem. But guess what? But for the wicked, time is working against them, and we're going to show that. This is Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, you heavens, and you that dwell in them. You know, the holy angels down to the elect. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. They know they got a short time. And we'll prove it. Let's see how this video start off. Let me go back to this video. He started it off a certain way.
Be shortened. And so you get to a certain time quicker. So I think that time has been sped up, and I think God has sped up time, because if he did not speed up time, then we all would be doomed. Did you guys hear that scientist that said that they have measured time, and in comparison to what time was before, time is now, like a minute is now 45 seconds.
He said scientists, they measure the time. And you know, the scientists he's talking about, Esau Edom and his scientists, his astrophysicists, physicists, chemists, you know, so-called white man, they measure the time. Why? Because time is working against them. But look at this, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. They know they running out of time. They're having trouble again with the data centers. There's a microchip shortage in the world. The people are rebelling. They being made aware of the new world order and what's coming. So again, he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Why even have scientists measure such a thing? Because he a criminal. And the criminal, they gotta rob that bank and be out in 60 seconds or less. Time ain't on the side of a criminal. So that's why he's measuring the time. And again, they got to microchip people, build data centers, get AI to run this new world order, get their automation and robots to work in these restaurants, doctor offices, everywhere. He not going to finish what he's trying to do. He going to get close. So eventually, he going to have to just come down with it. Instead of trying to do things through gradualism and one step at a time, he just going to have to force it. The Lord going to make him play whatever cards he got in his hand. And what cards he got in his hand? Maybe a new pandemic, a polycrisis, cyber attacks, blackouts, crash the global financial system, let gas and oil run out, stage a fake alien invasion. Esau gonna have to come with it. But that's why it says, come down unto you having great wrath. Then when you look up this word wrath, it goes into a slaughter. So it's gonna be a great slaughter. He gotta depopulate the people. People need water, they need land. But Esau need water and land for these data centers. So Somebody got to go, either the data centers or the people. If you know you're going to come down with a great slaughter on the people. And what proves is Matthew 24:22 said in the NLT, not a single person will survive. So again, when we look back at these screenshots, 30 days will pass in 22 and a half days. 31 days passes in 23 and a quarter days. 28 days, like the month of February, passes by in 21 days. Meaning that a normal year, 365 days, if you speed it up 33% faster, there's roughly 274 days. So you lose 91 days per year. 91 days, you could have sought the Lord. You could have repented. You could have somehow grew in his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And look at this. It says birthdays, holidays, they come 3 months sooner. So, meaning what? People think they got time to seek the Lord. The Lord tricked them. If you putting off day to day to seek the Lord to return Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, you may think you got so many days or so many months. But in reality, time is moving faster. So if you had 6 months, you really don't got 6 months. You got maybe 4.5 months. Because that's how time is moving. And that's why the Lord said this in Ecclesiasticus 5:7, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord and put not off from day to day. Because people say, well, after they get so much money, they seek the Lord. They're going to be busy the next couple months and then they'll start reading. Or they may start, then they fall off. Life picks back up, they get back busy. All kind of things start happening, then they putting it off day to day. The Lord said, make no tarrying, don't put it off. For suddenly should the wrath of the Lord come forth. So it's going to be suddenly, because look how time is moving. And this right now, it's probably going to start moving faster. Don't be surprised if they say one day is sped up 50% or 60%. That could happen. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth. That's what the scriptures say. The day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. Because a lot of people are so distracted and so overwhelmed and got so much that's happening. They know the days are going by. They know the weeks and the months are flying by. But they're not really perceiving like where we at. Like this year, it's halfway over already. It says, and in thy security, when you think everything good, thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. So people think they got such and such amount of time. You really don't. You really been tricked. You tricking yourself. As if the Lord doesn't know most of his people got this mindset. Most of his people gonna try to BS until the very end. We'll say the day of vengeance, the Lord's wrath gonna come suddenly. You tried to play with the Lord, he played with you back. But see, the Lord can manipulate time. He can speed up the time, he can slow down the time. Guess what? He can stop the time. So, joke's on you. And then we gonna get this in the book of, we're gonna come to the book of Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And that knowing the time. We know the times and season that we in. Kingdom of heaven is at hand. The wicked about to be cut off. Time is speeding up. We in a time of judgment. It says, and now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. Meaning our salvation, the day of vengeance, the destruction, is sooner than we think. And how is it sooner than we think? Because nobody knows the day or hour, but time is speeding up. Because even in your mind, when you think about the days and the weeks and the months, you could kind of you kind of got an estimation. You can see time in that sense, but how time is actually moving, you can't see. And look at this in the NLT. This is all the more urgent, for you know how late it is. Time is running out, and that's literal. Yeah, the days are going by, but the seconds, the minutes, the hours, the days are moving faster than ever before. It says, wake up, for our salvation is nearer now than when we first believed. Why? Because when we first believe, time ain't moving like that no more. Time moving faster. And these days, time is going to move faster and faster. And the elders have been saying, once they bring about this microchip, time going to be flying by. A day might go by in like 12, 14, 16 hours. But guess what? If we part of the elect, it's for our sake. So things gonna get worse before they get better. But the worst of it, the Lord gonna have mercy and kind of speed us through it. But yeah, our salvation, and guess what? The destruction is nearer than when we believe. That's literal. The time is moving faster. Because you may look at a month like, okay, it's 30 days this month, 31 days next month. Really, it ain't. You really got maybe 40, 50 days, maybe even less. But that's all I wanted to get. Scientists measuring the time, and they say, time is moving 33% faster, expected to move even faster as prophecy unfolds.
For every minute, 15 seconds we've lost. So I asked ChatGPT if 45 seconds was a minute, how quickly would time go by? ChatGPT said that time will be moving 33% quicker. And what that would mean for a month would be that a 30-day month would pass in 22 and a half days. And so a month would feel like it ended a week sooner. The crazy thing about this is that when you continuously, if you say 2 months or 3 months, or you say a year, it's crazy. If you say a year, this would be about 274 days that a year would take. And a year takes obviously 365 days. But a year would finish about 91 days earlier. And some people find it hard to comprehend that if God is outside of time, then he can fast forward time from the outside because he is not in it. Similar to when you watch a movie, you are not in the movie, which means you can fast forward through the movie, you can rewind, you can do whatever you want, and the people in the movie will not be affected because they can't they can't feel it, they can't see it because you're doing it from the outside of time. They're just going to continue to do their script in real time. So God has sped up time. That is my belief. Also, do what you will with this type of information. This is Revelation 12:12, and it says that therefore rejoice, never has come down unto time. Another thing, Matthew 24, verse point in time, or you can look at it as like time speeding up so the days can be shortened. And so you get to a certain time quicker. So yeah.
And what we get into quicker, the destruction and the salvation. So the one that was informative. Next time, Shalom.